Welcome to DaVinci Resolve Tips and Tricks. In this episode, we're going to see how to remove blemishes and make the skin tone smoother and more homogeneous. Let's take it away. This is a fairly simple but very powerful technique. We're going to try to mimic the frequency separation technique. What you're looking here is my beautiful fixed node tree that I usually use for most of my projects. Unfortunately, I was given a Rec 09 clip. So that's a Rec 09, and you can already see the amount of blemishes and hair strays. You can see her ear piercings, the light shining in her forehead, the line on her nose. I mean, if you were to remove everything, then it becomes very plasticky. Let me jump to the other one. This one, it was a tiny bit better, but, still had to perform quite a lot of retouches. But, this is probably the most obvious. So I was saying, here, as usual, I'm working with my fixed node tree structure. This is the IDT. This is my ODT, just to Rec 09, Gamma 2.4, and a bit of grain here. So nothing fancy. So I'll guide you through my clip level. So these four are usually my primary corrections. So here, I start doing some blemishes, before and after. As I showed before, piercings like hair stray. Let's grab the other side when she turns, because she turns and moves, so it is difficult. Yeah, so you can see the piercing, a few hair strays, this hair here. So the client was very, very picky, and then that disappears, and here, again, I got piercing, I got this forehead, this hair flies here at the bottom. So it's quite, it's quite a job, I would say. Time demanding. So then I moved into my diffusion filters. So yeah, you can see this is on and off. It makes everything a bit softer. So again, you can get the whole pack of diffusion filters on my shop. I said the primary correction, the log, colors. And then this was a trim. My original gray was a bit contrasty. The client said, "Oh, can we smooth out, the curve?" So this is where I leave the producer, creative, or director like trims. So I just did a contrast adjustment. Just lifting the contrast. And then let me jump into what I'm giving for free today. And you can see how those, let me get it bigger, you can see all those blemishes, all, how this side is darker, this side is darker, and how everything gets smoother. And this is my smooth power grade. My power grade includes these 3 nodes. So let's take it from the start. The first 2 will do the heavy lifting. There you go. So the first one is a face mask. So it's just a simple qualification, really, really smooth around the edges. Try not to grab the lips, no the eyes, no the eyebrows, just the skin, no hair, just the skin. And I know if you have given the advice before of never, well, not never, but do not tend to qualify the skin on every shot you do, it's a very good advice. This is a commercial. Commercial work is different from short film, drama, serials. There's more time. They really want to finesse the product. But yeah, if you have a difficult shot, then this is really good. So yeah, this node is to qualify the skin. Not all the skins are the same. So obviously, when you download the power grade, this may not work. So in this node you will need to requalify to the skin of your subject matter, of your talent. And then I connect the mask, the alpha. So I apply the effect or effects, because I could create parallels like that and move that mask to another clip, and I'm smoothing on this, and on this one I'm doing the Smurf look. But yeah, so you have more options if you have to move that mask into different clips and perform different actions. So as you know, I like to do per node just one specific thing, not all the things in one node. This is the smooth node. Here I use a texture pop. It's only for the studio version, I'm afraid. I find it's a very powerful open effects and quick to do this sort of frequency separation, because that's what it does. We have these different frequencies. We have tonal ranges in the advanced mode, and it's really powerful. You can really control and fine-tune details. For positive, so you increase the detail, or negative, so you reduce. In this case, what we're using to smooth the skin is reduce detail. Let me do before and after. Before and after, just on the texture pop, and you can see what we're doing. It's quite powerful, isn't it? And if you feel like you're taking it too far, you can always have the blend, and you know, still we're helping to smooth out that skin without being too over dramatic with it. But that is what the client wanted and liked, so we left it there. For me, it's a tiny bit over the top, but yeah, whatever the client wants. And the following note, I used, once this is smooth and nice, from that smoothness, I'll bring back a tiny bit of detail, just to bring probably between the eyes here. It's very subtle. Like, I don't know if the YouTube compression will help here. Cool. So let me go back to the clip stage. Let me talk about these two notes I'm not using, but let's use this shot. This shot was shot a bit softer, but anyway, this is what I was given. So again, I'm qualifying the skin. Let me check what I'm doing. Perfect. No lips. That's essential. No hair, no eyes, just skin. Perfect. So yeah, off and on, off and on. What am I doing here? Again, it's subtle. Maybe you're not catching very quickly what's happening. So you can see here there are darker tones, they're a bit deeper in color. There are not many variants in color in the skin. Probably here it's a bit red. Yeah, you can see how this red bit starts to blend better. It's good. So what are we doing here? Let me enable it. So we're selecting a target color, which is a part of the skin, the target that you think all the rest of the skin should look like. So don't get like a pimple, don't get any reddish areas of the skin, just get a nice and soft, nice looking part of the skin. And what this does is compress the hue, so it brings all those hues that are not, in this case, it's really subtle. It's not the best example, but yeah, just imagine if you have pimples or reddish, more pronounced areas of the skin. This will bring everything closer to that target color. Same thing for saturations. If you have like certain parts of the skin that are more saturated than others or less saturated, it brings everything to the same level of saturation of that target color. And then luminance. The luminance, it's gonna try to go full blast. Just pastely, plasticky. But what it does, it brings all the selected areas to the same luminance of the target, which is a block of color, right, without a texture. So it sort of starts removing texture. Obviously, you're going too far, it looks horrible, maybe for a horror film. But yeah, so you can see what it's doing, just smoothing out those shadows, just a little bit, reducing contrast in the skin. Grand. And let me show you, maybe if you don't quite get what this is doing, let me go back to qualification and get the lips. The lips are red, are completely different to skin color. But if we grab them and highlight them, and obviously they're not perfectly qualified, I can grab more. There you go. So this is clear, right? So you want the lips to be to get some of this color, so we're compressing the hue. So I wouldn't recommend that. I obviously when I do masks, I want to do them clean. There we go. I think this is the most classic. Again, I'm doing subtle job, off, on, off, on, and I'm just again qualifying the skin and applying some mid detail reduction. I wouldn't go more than -30, but it all depends on the sort of footage that you're working with. So I can't give you an exact, precise number. Obviously, you go -100. And it gets very soft. If you're looking after this amount of softness, off, on, quite a lot. So in this case, for the example, I didn't ended up using it, but -25 is just a touch, and it helps smoothing out the skin. Yeah, sorry, I forgot to say, I'm back here on my single monitor view, so I can see the gallery here as well. So yeah, you just drag and drop, makes everything smoother. If this is too much for your footage, maybe even here it is a tad too much, I would come here to the smooth node, to the effect, and then yeah, just play with the blend until you find that it sits realistically with your footage. Then if you don't get your desired look, because again every single skin is different and every case could be like an individual case, then I would suggest starting with a small slider and a bit of medium as well, ever so slightly. But yeah, I mean, this is a very good starting point. Play with your blend, and then to really fine tune, if you want to go into the details of this plugin, just play with the details, of course the tonal ranges. So happy grading, until next time. And of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, pop round to my shop, get all the freebies that I give out. It's quite a lot, and why not some of the paid stuff. Until next time, ciao.